Alex Hormozi is a strong advocate for cold emails, and he personally uses this strategy to grow his business to over 30 millions. Having sent millions of cold emails and generated 7 figures on revenue for clients myself, I was reading his training and the cold outreach section of his 100 million leads book. And actually, I was kind of surprised because all the playbooks, the scripts, and the strategy actually is total shit. And I made this video to show you how I can improve Alex Hormozi cold email strategy with Clay, and how can I help you driving more sales and book more calls.
The simple answer is you build a list, and there's 3 ways to build a list. You can scrape them, you can buy them, you can look for them. So those are the 3 main ones. And I've done all of these. Scrape them means you're using softwares. And so this is what I would call step 1. So you want to subscribe, in my opinion, to as many of these softwares as you can. So they're list scraping or lead scraping softwares out there, or outbound softwares. If you Google enough of those things, you'll find the stuff you're looking for. You subscribe to as many of them as you can, search them all based on your criteria of the type of customer you're looking for. Then try out a representative sample, say a few hundred from each of the software that you use. And if the contact information is up to date and the leads are responsive and they are the type of person the software claims them to be, then bingo, buy more.
Well, first of all, okay, I agree of using different data providers and putting them together, but I strongly disagree to actually test a few hundreds of leads, check if they are responsive, and then just double down. No, you really can't. What I strongly suggest is use providers to map the 10, the list of company URLs. You want to map the 10 as soon as possible to actually create a real outbound process. And yeah, you can test different providers, but start from a list of companies. For example, if you're prospecting into e-commerce, I suggest store leads because it's specific to e-commerce. If you are prospecting into gyms, restaurants, start from Google Maps because that's a very good way to actually map all the 10 of restaurants and gyms. If you're prospecting to agencies, LinkedIn is wonderful. Then when you have the 10 map, you find the people. But first you have to map the 10. You have to get at least 95% of the actual market. Then you find the people, then you outreach the people, and you use AI personalization to create a better outreach. Moreover, when you are mapping the 10, you can use tools such as clay.com, which contains scrapers and AI, to double check you're acting prospecting to the right companies.
Now you found a great treasure trove of people who might be the right type of people to buy your stuff. The second way, and I've used these too, is brokers. So just like you can have people who buy and sell anything, there's people who buy and sell lists.
And let's see how I would exactly use this approach to create an outbound campaign for his old business gym lounge to actually outreach gyms in a particular area. So let's check together how to map the 10 of gyms, like I was younger Alex Hormozi trying to create a cold outreach strategy for gyms. First of all, I can just open Clay. And from Clay, I can use the Google Maps integration, since gyms are really present on Google Maps, like 100% or at least 95% of gyms would be present on Google Maps. And for the sake of this example, is by far the best provider ever. What I can put here, let's say I'm in New York, United States, free text, search gym, number of results. Let's try with 50 just for this example. New blank table, and we have gyms. Of course, this is a very efficient process, and it's enough to run all over the United States, and you can really get the list of all the gyms in the United States with a lot of very interesting information we can use in the outreach, because we have the name, we have the URL on Google Maps, we have the website, we have the phone, we have the address, the score rating, and the number of reviews, so that we can really be relevant in the outreach. But even better, so I know that the Gym Lounge was basically business and IP, gyms in launching their own courses, getting more clients, and be more profitable in general. But what I would do here to create a better list, and this is why Clay and creating a Clay agency is just too superior to any lead gen agency out there, is I can really create very sophisticated angles. There are 2 kinds of agencies from what I can see: agencies that are already trying to grow with Facebook ads, and gym launches a particular training on Facebook ads, and gyms that are not really running any kind of Facebook ads. So the approach, the targeting will be totally different. In the first would be saying something like, hey, I noticed that your competitors are running Facebook ads to attract new local clients, so I really suggest to start. While for the other, they are already doing Facebook ads, I would suggest something in the ads and say something like, I can make your ads more profitable, I can decrease your cost per acquisition, because in this way I can be more relevant and I can improve the conversion rate, book more calls, and so generate more sales. But how can I do this at scale without checking gym per gym with their running ads, so that I can really create a campaign that scale with personalization? So first of all, I would start from the website and find the Facebook page, because from the Facebook page I have a transparency page on Meta which suggests if a business is running ads or not. So what I would do as a very first thing is add enrichment, play agent, and visit the company website, and I put as a variable the website, and find the Facebook page. Just turn the URL and nothing else. I can even select just URL. That's it, save and run, because I really know that inside the website I can find the Facebook page, like in the footer or somewhere else. Let's see if I can find it. So we are getting a lot of Facebook results. What I want to show you is the transparency page. This is the Facebook page, and we go to about page transparency. The page is currently running ads, so every Facebook page must declare in public if it's running ads or not on his Facebook page. And in this particular case, what I can see, what is really interesting, that the transparency pages are all of them the same, because it's the Facebook link plus this snippet about profile transparency. So I can go back to Clay, create a second column and call it second part of the URL. This I can name it first part of the URL, and edit. I can create a formula so that if first part of the URL is not empty, return this snippet. Generate formula, and that's it. Output is correct. Save formula, and at scale now we have the second part of URL. We want to put all the pieces together, so we finally have a clear transparency page. So URL, and now we just have to merge the first part of the URL, which is the Facebook page URL, and the snippet that redirect the page basically to the transparency page. And we can easily do this with another formula. Use AI, first part, second part, without any kind of space, generate formula. That's it. Output is correct. Save. Here we are with the new page. Let's check if at scale we can find the transparency page. Yes, we can. Very cool. In this case, this page is currently running ads, so another gym that is running ads. What we want to do right now is scraping this page and getting this piece of information. Unfortunately, any transparency page, whether on Google, LinkedIn, TikTok, or wherever, is very difficult to scrape, and for this reason, we should use another integration on Clay that screenshot the page and just return us the text. So it would be very easy to manipulate this piece of data. So we can simply add enrichment, image, analyze image, prompt, return what's written in the page. Web page to screenshot, we put the final transparency page URL. Should screenshot from a mobile device? No. Should screenshot full page? Is the same. Save, run 10 rows. And here's all the results, so we can check what's written in the result. The page is currently running ads, and here our piece of information that we really want to differentiate our campaign and target in a different way our gyms. To make it even easier, we should create another integration again and try to understand whether gym is running ads from what we scraped before, where is written was the if he's running ads or not. Exactly, the page content response, the one that we screenshotted before from the transparency page of Meta. Just return yes or no and select adoption yes or no so that we can really format the answer. Save, run 10 rows, and that's it. I can really get all the results, all the gym of United States, understand at scale all their most valuable information, and even better for the sake of our campaign, I can understand if they are running ads yes or no, so that I can create a new smart lead integration so that I can send email at scale, and for gyms that are already using ads, I can suggest something to actually improve their ads, can differentiate from the gyms that are not even running ads so that I can use another piece of copy to create extremely relevant campaign at scale in just a couple of clicks.
Then try out a representative sample, say a few hundred from each of the software that you use. And if the contact information is up to date and the leads are responsive and they are the type of person the software claims them to be, then bingo, buy more. Now you found a great treasure trove of people who might be the right type of people to buy your stuff. The second way, and I've used these too, is brokers. So just like you can have people who buy and sell anything, there's people who buy and sell lists. They're list brokers. And there are multiple list brokers out there. And so all you have to do is go to many of them and ask them to make you a list. And most of them will give you a sample list to show you that their stuff is good. And you give them the same audience criteria that you type in the software. Sometimes list brokers can be even more nuanced than software can be because that's their whole business. It really depends on the quality of the broker, just like anything else. Once I get that, they send me a sample, just like before, and I test the sample out and see how it does. If I get good results from one or more brokers, then I stick with their list.
So again, brokers, and I don't really like brokers. And first of all, I have to say that sometimes they are necessary. For example, you are targeting commercial real estates in the United States. There are some brokers that are very good, but again, map the list of companies for brokers, then do your own enrichment and apply scrapers in AI to refine the list. In general, I don't really like brokers because of three things. So first of all, the job of brokers is renting lists. If he's renting the list to you, he's renting the list to 1,000 different other lead gen agencies. And for this reason, that list was hit by a lot. And I mean a lot of people, because at the end of the day, it's business. So you're really losing your competitive advantage in actually outsourcing the list making process. Secondly, outsourcing list make you very, very slow, because think about the process. Maybe you have an outsourcing partner offshore from India, from Pakistan, from Europe. You ask the list, it takes 2 days to make the list, then it gets back. Then you look at the list, you don't like the list, or there's a missing variable, you can't really create that piece of copy and mention that variable like score reviews. Then you have to go back, another feedback, another 2 days and back again. You're losing your clients probably because you can't deliver in time. And third, I don't really like list brokers because 90% of list brokers today use a very outdated technology and they really can't make lists as I was doing before. So maybe it's a good starting point, but you have to refine the list. You have to become very, very proficient in making the list. 70% of the outbound game is making the list and the rest is value proposition. The best guys in the world in outbound are the best in making the list fast because the list actually dictates the copy. If you are the best in the world at making the list fast, with the right technology, you have very, very good chance of being one of the best outbound guy in the actual world. Let's see how can we scrape a group or a niche community or a niche website like the Y Combinator list. So the Y Combinator list, of course, is the list of companies that get funded from the biggest Silicon Valley incubator startups. So they have money to spend, they want to grow, and for a clay agency, for a lead generation company, it's very interesting to work with them because they have budget, they have money, they are willing to grow, so they are a perfect fit for an agency. You can see there are a lot of companies, some of them are very famous. You can put all your filters for the industry, where they are, what they are doing, what is the batch, but we don't really want to open company per company, check the website, check the profile, check the LinkedIn of these guys and create an outreach, because it will take a day. The world is competitive in 2024 and we have to leverage technology to be better than anyone else. So let's see how can we do this automatically. So first of all, I take my list here, smile, we can have a lot of companies here. And what I suggest to use in this situation is you can just use your Instadata scraper, so it will scrape automatically all the leads. Copy all of them and put them into G Sheet. Now we just really need the website, because inside the website, for example, let's go inside Amplitude, which is this digital analytic platform. We have all the information that we need. We have the URL, we have the description, so we really need this kind of URL. Let's check where it is. It's this, actually, Coinbase, Amplitude, Airbnb, and all the other smaller startups. I can delete everything else. I get this list, and then I can go to my clay table and I can create a blank table. Create table, blank table, company table. I can paste all the URL here, and that's what we really need actually, because we can add an enrichment and say something like clay agent from this website, find the company domain. Just return the URL and nothing else. I can change this into URL, save, launch the first 10 rows. So we have to get the URL of Airbnb, Amplitude, Coinbase, DoorDash, Jinko, GitLab, and interesting enough, all the results are loading. Notables, we have Notable Labs, Momentum, DoorDash, and we have our amazing URL. And the URL is an extremely interesting piece of data, because from the URL we can enrich LinkedIn, and from LinkedIn we can get all the information about the company, the people, and we can really start there our outreach. It's enough to do auto enrichment, and we can type enrich company. As you can see, to enrich the company is enough to put a company domain. This is the reason why we decided to actually scrape only domain, because we just really need that. Continue, save, add 10 rows, and let's get all the LinkedIn data about these companies. Here we are, we have all the company enriched, and we can really leverage this data for the next step. So we have, for example, the size of the companies, because maybe we are just interested in companies that are like from 10 to 50 employees, because of course, if you're outreaching a company that's 10,000 employees, maybe it's not interested in your lead gen services, but other can be really interesting. And other pieces of data, such as the company name. We really want to mention the company name when actually doing the outreach. We can even use the founding date, the website, the industry, the location, maybe they are near us, and the description if you want to add more relevance. From here, we can find the people. Action, find people at these companies. We pass as a main column the LinkedIn company profiles. We can put as job titles the owner, preview people, and let's get a list of people. That's it. In a very fast way, we got a list of all the people, of all the founders, in this case, of the Y Combinator listing.
But I'm not getting enough chances to tell people my stuff, so what do? So there's three things we're gonna do. We're gonna increase volume, and all three of these things increase volume. So the number of times and the number of people who hear your thing. So one is we automate delivery, second we automate distribution, and three, we follow up more times.
Volume is really what you need in order to scale a lead gen agency, in order to scale an outbound campaign, and Clay is real about volume. That's why most of the cases in the Clay agency program we teach how to scale Clay without using credits, so that is less expensive. You can really ramp up volume to such a very high end.
When we automate delivery, we want to do that to the extent that we can, because what it does is it unlocks huge scale. So there's two ways you can think about delivering anything. You can have something that you deliver live, you can have something that you record. So I could copy and paste something that is recorded. Flip side is I could leave a live voice memo, then I say the person's name in it, and then I send that as my DM. The likelihood that that gets a higher response rate is much higher, because it took active time to write it. So it's scaling the unscalable in a way. We're personalizing the outreach attempt. It's just a different way of personalizing. In time, as AI becomes crazier and crazier, there will be a continuous arms race between people sending and people receiving of, is this legitimate or is this AI that said my name, etc. And we'll figure it out over time. But for right now, you can automate to the degree that you possibly can without sacrificing response rate.
We are in a point where AI is already doing crazy things in the outbound world, and for the 99% of people, it's actually impossible to distinguish what is AI generated and what is human generated. Just to make a couple of examples, you can totally integrate it into Clay, so you can scale the personalization at scale, but with Senspark you can create, first of all, an example video, and Senspark can totally clone your voice, so that when you say hey, first name, it clones your voice so that it seems natural, and you can really scale it all over the list of all the first names. And even better, in the video it changes automatically the background as the website of the prospect. For example, if you are delivering a message to real estate agency and there's an agency owner called Mark, the video at scale can be personalized as hey Mark, and in the background there would be the website of exactly his agency. Another interesting example is a service that is called audience.co. It's amazing because it can create at scale fake and written notes like an old school direct mail that still really works, so that you can create a list and you can really send direct mail at scale like they were cold emails, but on a paper level, which is amazing to really create an amazing experience at scale and really be different than 99% of all the competitors.
Because fundamentally, all it is to be number of people reached out to times response rate equals output. And so you can move either of these. You can go way more volume and have automated and get a fraction of people to respond, but you put enough N in the amount that you get a big output, or you get a high percentage of people respond.
It's exactly this. Try to scale volume as high as possible, keeping the conversion rate stable. That's really the trick in the outbound game, and I can really guarantee you that the transition from a classical outdated lead gen agency to a Clay agency is really a step to make everything works, to make your operations better, and to really deliver a service and a lead gen strategy that you couldn't believe possible, basically.
By the way, if you have a small audience that you're going after or a small number of leads, then I would say personalize to the greatest degree possible, because those probably cost you a lot of time and effort to get, and I wouldn't want to burn through them. One man's 2 cents. 2 times I failed at cold outreach, I hired people who never tracked metrics well. The third person did, and cold outreach succeeded. And so here's an example. 100 cold calls a day, you get a 25% pickup rate, so 25 pickups, and 25% want to take the lead magnet, whatever the thing is. So 4 people become engaged leads.
Okay, 100 cold calls per day right now is a bit outdated. Yeah, you can totally do way more than 100 cold calls per day, and the real difference is putting an SDR, so the cold caller in a productive environment, versus putting the SDR in a very random environment where he has a G sheet, he has a phone number, he tries to call people, but the effort is minimized. So first of all, how good you are making the list completely change the game. Secondly, how good your mobile data are, because maybe Alex was calling to James, so on Jim, or you call the owner, or you call the assistant that has the owner very next to him. But think about calling an enterprise company or even a moderate big company. Well, you got levels, different people from the person who pick up the phone to reaching out to the right decision maker. Secondly is really productivity, because one thing is having a G sheet, digiting the number, getting the call, and just trying to reach out to the right person. And one thing is having a power dialer, a super productive environment where the SDR just stare at the screen, start the call automatically, and when the call ends, just another call. Mobile phone, right list, power dialer can totally make the same SDR 4 to 5x more efficient. Then 25% pickup rate, again, if you're very lucky and you're calling like small companies, 25% want to take a lead magnet, interested, yeah, could make sense. You have to be really good and you have to have a very good lead magnet. For hours to make calls, 1 engaged lead per hour, yeah, it makes sense. In some cases you can do way better, and in some cases even worse if you're calling very big companies. So it totally depends, and the level of the game totally changed in the last 3 years. Now, or you're very good, or you lose automatically.
take me 4 hours of making cold calls to get 1 engaged lead per hour. So 4 total. Not a bad deal. You get 1 engaged per hour. It's okay. It's not a bad gig. In terms of your cost per time, it's 0. It's whatever food it takes you to stay alive. Right? If it's somebody else, it's whatever their hourly rate is. Not a bad cost. And this is how it works. And so I'll tell you, this is actually a screenshot from one of our portfolio companies that we just tweaked one of their outbound email delivery systems. And they have a massively effective outbound email only system.
100 personalized email per day, 30% open, so you can just compare it to pickups. 100 personalized email per day really sucks. So if you are doing this, you lose automatically. There's no way that you can actually have decent success in this. So what I usually teach to client is seeing emails and phone as separate channels. Phone is phone, and what he was saying about phone is kind of good. It depends on the dimension of the company. Email is in my head like an ads network. So you have to find a way to find the right sequence to personalize it at scale through Clay, so you can scale real personalization at scale, real relevance at scale with Clay, so that you get one interested over 100 to 200 send. In this way, if you get one interested reply over 100 to 200 and you have a list of 10,000, you can really just set up multiple inbox and start sending and sending, so that you exactly know how many results you are getting. You can get crazy results in just a couple of weeks, basically. And to reach such a level, now the game is technical. You have amazing platform, first of all, to scale personalization like Clay, but then you have the deliverability problem. So you have amazing platform, sending platform instantly, like in this video, I think Smart Lead, where they have unlimited inboxes. You can buy 20 domains, set up 40 inboxes from different providers, Outlook, Google, private servers. They are wormed out together because they have a pool of a lot of different senders. They exchange email together and stay outside of spam so that they can send higher volumes. And in this way, you can create a very, very sophisticated outbound process with emails.
Here's the emails per day. We got 30% open rate, which in the phone call would have been in pickups, and 10% that opens reply. Now, the opportunities we don't track in there, but these are actual numbers from a company. So you can get good at this stuff, and this company is very good at it. So if you want your business to not be dependent on a face or a character or a Mickey Mouse, then cold outreach is a really viable solution. Number 2 is that your competition won't know what you're doing. Because everything is private, no one has any idea what you're saying to your prospects, and so they can't copy you.
You can really scale to such a high degree without basically anyone noticing, because you are just contacting directly the target customers, basically. But it's even true that you really need a mind for actually understanding what is the new angle, what is the new offer that can work, because after a while the market gets saturated. You have to start again at the beginning of the term. Yes, it's true, but it's not that easy as it seems. You don't need to create lots of content or ads. It's true, but you have to make a lot of execution too, because there are lists to build, copy to build, and actually you have to build a lot of content, because you can send asset, you can send videos, you can send lead magnets, and this really requires time. It's really a channel like it was like ads.
You can grow as big as you want in silence. So I actually found out that there was a company, a gym company in my space doing $10 million a month from cold outreach, and I didn't even know they existed. And that was ultimately the time I succeeded, because I saw how much scale they had, and I said, man, if they're doing that in my space, this is worth it. Number 3, the numbers through the funnel work like clockwork.
It is the same thing that I told before. When you nail down the sequence, the script, and it is working, and you already know that when you contact 100 people, you get 1 interested replies, or maybe 1 call, you know more or less your conversion rate on cold traffic. It really works like clockwork.
It's really just about increasing volume. It's incredibly reliable, and the pipeline continues to stack over time. If you've been doing cold outreach a year, 2 years, you start to have leads that contacted from you 6 months ago, 12 months ago, 18 months ago, and that's why making the content as the long-term nurture strategy also brings people back in your world. Number 4 is that there are fewer platform changes. So, algorithms change on content with paid ads, they change CPMs, there's rules that change, they ban certain types of businesses, but cold call laws haven't materially changed, and the actual process almost hasn't changed at all.
Totally disagree, totally incorrect, because there are a lot of platform changes. Email is not actually a channel, but deliverability and the inbox of each platform actually is a channel. So if Google change deliverability rules, you're and were constantly adapted around deliverability, both on phone, email, and LinkedIn. Just think about LinkedIn. 3 years ago, it was possible to send like 500 DMs or 500 connection requests per week, or even 1,000. Then it became 200. Now it's like 100 or even less. So they are really trying to limit outbound in general because the platforms are more sophisticated, and you have to evolve or you will die, because you can't actually deliver results to clients. Cold email was a storm just a few months ago. It's getting better, but the game changed and you really have to adapt. And even cold calls actually, because I'm already seeing numbers get marked as spam, like it is already happening for emails. So all the game is getting tougher and tougher.
Emails, direct mail, think about the post service, like not a lot of things have changed over a long period of time. Have things changed? Yes, but compared to the other ways of getting customers, not even close. So once you get the machine working, you can be pretty confident that it's going to keep working for a long time, which makes it a very valuable thing for the business. Number 5 is that compliance is less painful. All you have to worry about here is just legal compliance rather than platform compliance and legal compliance.
This is true. Legal compliance is for sure less painful. And getting to the cold outreach template actually, especially in the cold email part, what I can see is the template that it was using for James. Hey, first time, are you guys open right now? I can see your goals for your clients. This is a bit creepy, outdated, but we specialize in helping avatar get goal in under time without pain. I really like this. I know that's a bold claim, but we have out X client just under time generate over results. Okay, I really like how you nail down, how is clear the value proposition, and how this template make you change a result or social proof or value proposition, which are the things that really change the results of a cold campaign basically. But what's really interesting, and it's totally outdated, you really shouldn't follow this if you want to make results. Does it make sense for us to open a quick 15 minutes call, booking link, case study, link, PS, another booking link, and again a YouTube video too? Well, you can't really do this in 2024. I'm not saying it's forbidden to send one link if you really change results, but if you're putting so much content, links, complex HTML in the first email, like here, you will burn all your cold email infrastructure in a couple of days. You can't really do that, and you have to adapt to the new rules of sending emails and to scale personalization, but with plain text in a much more effective way than this, basically. And that's how I would improve Alex Hormozi cold email strategy. Cold email and outbound, especially if you leverage Clay, are still the best way to actually deliver results, sales call, and revenue for your own B2B business. If you want to escape your 9 to 5 or you want to pivot your lead generation agency into a Clay agency and really reach the next level, I strongly suggest to check the link in the description. We are a community of 250 Clay operators, and you can get the best information to actually jumpstart this amazing business model. Thank you so much, and see you in the next one.